Hello, I'm Jo Curry, and this is the SheBelieves Cup. Hello and welcome to the map-free stadium here in Columbus, Ohio, USA. Tonight, Phil Neville will lead the Lionesses out for the first time as they take on France here at the SheBelieves Cup. Now, last time these two sides met, France beat them 1-0, a last-minute goal, and actually England have only ever beaten France once in their last 10 meetings. So will Phil Neville lead them out to success before they take on Germany and USA? Well, one player who can't wait to get started is Lucy Bronze, who's going to captain the side this week in the place of the injured Steph Houghton.
It's a huge honour. I think, you know, anyone that's ever been captain of their club or country will always say being the captain's a huge honour. But I think this week especially, you know, we're playing the top teams in the world, so there's a bit more responsibility on it. We've got a new manager, we've got a new squad, so there's a bit more to it this week. But I think we're really confident at the minute. We're really excited. You know, we've got a kind of a fresh slate, a couple of new faces, both staff and players. So I think it's a really exciting time to be part of England, and it's a really exciting game to be part of as well. He's got a very driven mindset. You know, he wants us to dress the same, he wants us to do everything together, be on time, discipline, respect. I think it's great, you know, it's the kind of the little things like that which are going to help you, you know, win World Cups and things, and it's something that he's been brought up doing as a player, and he was successful, and now he's trying to implement it as a manager, and hopefully we can be successful.
Well, let's see how Lucy Bronze and Phil Neville and the rest of the Lionesses get on. Let's cross over to your commentary team of Jonathan Pearce and Sue Smith.
Thanks very much, Joe. Hello, everybody. New era begins for the England women's team here in the map-free stadium on a thundery, miserable Columbus, Ohio afternoon as the annual SheBelieves Cup competition kicks off. Four of the best sides in the world here. England belong at this level now. And new coach Phil Neville has the same goosebumps, he tells me, the same butterflies as when he made his England debut as a player in China in May '96. And the immediate task in hand for him to stop the 2017 SheBelieves winners France, who beat England in the States 12 months ago, but were beaten famously by Mark Sampson's side in the European Championship quarter-final in July in Holland. And I spoke to Phil yesterday. He's so determined, excited, passionate about the job ahead. Not as excited about the weather, I can tell you. They were using leaf blowers to dry out the pitch up to 3 hours ago, and there have been warnings about lightning storms here and possible delays. Out they come then, Sue. New coach, new era.
It really is, and it's, you know, it's a tough one for him. The fact that he's playing against three excellent footballing sides, different sides, and you can imagine everything that Phil Neville does will be scrutinised, his team selection, his post-match interviews, his pre-match interviews. But these players and Phil Neville want to win. The winners, they've got real belief, and I think that's something that he wants to instill into his side, and that will start against France.
This was the first all-purpose soccer-specific stadium built in the USA. It's the home of the Columbus Crew. It holds 19,600. Nowhere near that many here at the moment, although more supporters will arrive because the US-Germany game kicks off after this one. And that's what they're playing for, the SheBelieves Cup. In terms of style, Phil wants his players to be braver in possession. He wants to dominate the ball. He wants them to play with more style through the thirds. And most of all, he wants them to develop the ruthless winning mentality of the world champions, the USA, and Olympic champions, Germany. Here are the anthems. Some expats amongst the crowd. She doesn't look to be delighted, does she, holding the flag? Marseillaise. On a windy day, the flags rain splattered. At the start of the SheBelieves Cup 2018. New coach and new captain for England, of course, because Steph Houghton was one of 5 injured players who didn't make the trip. So Lucy Bronze, who was described to me by Phil Neville yesterday as one of the very best in the world, she's got the armband. There she goes, shaking the hands of the match officials. England do not have a good record against France. 1 win in their last 10 meetings, only 3 victories in the history of clashes between the two countries, but they did beat them in Deventer in July. Here's the England side. Anita Sati playing her first international in nearly 5 years, takes Houghton's place. As said about Millie Bright is back in the starting lineup alongside her as vice-captain despite a bout of sickness yesterday. Demi Stokes preferred to Alex Greenwood. Fran Kirby replaces Farrah Williams. Kira Walsh will actually shuffle deeper into the Williams role. Don't believe that lineup that's given to you by the US people. That's not true. And Tony Duggan in great form at Barcelona. She comes in the place of Mel Lawley from England's last game. Only 6 of the team started the 1-0 friendly defeat in France in October. Only 3 of the French side started that October win in Valenciennes. Diallo, Diani and Le Sommer. She's their 3rd highest scorer ever. She remains one of the world's best. Georges, the 2nd highest international appearance maker in France, one of 7 players who are at Euro 17. 2 interesting selections. Karima Benamur in goal, ahead of the experienced Bouhardi, earning her 4th cap spread over 11 years. And there's a 2nd start for Faustine Robert of Guingamp. They're in an interesting period, France, and of course they're missing several players who that would normally be in the side. They're not here, and several players over recent years have retired. Of course, Abeli and Nassib, great players from the past.
Yeah, they're in a transitional phase, and they've got a race against time now to get it right for 2019. And you can see they're trying to, with different styles, different formations, different personnel. It was quite difficult to predict the team for tonight, whereas it's never been like that in the past. But we know what you get from them. They're going to be physical, they're going to be technically very good, and they're going to be quick.
Jodie Taylor, based back in the USA now. She's just joined Seattle Reign, her 6th US club. There is Eugenie Le Sommer, who's been playing left side for her club. She starts there, look, wearing 9 for her country, but in Deventer in the summer she was on the right-hand side, and she gave Demi Stokes a torrid evening that evening. So here we go then. The SheBelieves Cup of 2018 is off and running. Competition created by the players of the US World Cup winning squad. They wanted a tournament to showcase the best in the world on home shores, and this is the 3rd year. Here's Bronze. Taylor tried to work it down the line, and a little stab pass with too much pace on it by Nikita Parris, who scored in all the competitive internationals this season. There's Jill Scott. Now the plan is that Scott and Kirby will get ahead of Kira Walsh, who will anchor the midfield, and they will get up in support of Taylor, Parris and Duggan. My worry, Sue, is that if the French play it wide, England will lack cover in the wide positions defensively.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to work hard, the wide players, to get back and help out, and I think that's exactly, I'm sure, what Phil Neville will have said.
The wind is going to play a part. Look at the corner flag there, bending away. Look at it.
Yeah.
The wind is so strong. And here's Kirby on the attack. What a start for England that would have been. Well, she got forward into a very good position, and it's a good start here by England in the opening 90 seconds. Fran Kirby should have scored, really.
Real positive play there from Fran Kirby. That's what she does. She looks to face up defenders, wants to take them on, makes things happen. Probably she'll just be disappointed with her finish.
Must have got a touch off the goalkeeper, though. England have the first corner of the game. It's into the penalty spot area. Jill Scott was in there with her height, and it's not cleared away by a very hesitant looking French side. They've dropped to 6th in the world rankings. That's mainly because they're not playing competitive games as hosts of the next World Cup finals. But they've got good players, but they are playing against the wind, and they are camped in their own half and can't get out. There's Kira Walsh. She's been very impressive in training. I know Phil Neville and the whole of the English camp really impressed with the technique she's shown, levels of technique she's shown in training.
Yeah, she's done so well for Manchester City as well. And I think that just shows if you're performing for your club, you know, you'll get an opportunity to play international football, and that's what she does. She'll protect the back four, but when she gets on the ball, she very rarely gives it away.
Made a debut against Kazakhstan in the last of the World Cup qualifiers on a bitter night in Colchester. It was a handsome win for England, and they will be expected to win those games in World Cup qualifying. That was 5-0. Bosnia at home 4 days earlier in Warsaw was a 4-0. Russia at the start of the campaign was a 6-0. These games in this competition is a real examination of England's true potential.
And that's why you have to play games like this, because yes, it's good for confidence when you're scoring 5, 6, 7 goals, but you need to test yourselves against the best defences, against the best attacking lineups, and that's what it is in this tournament.
We could artificially lift the FX mic levels for you to try and suggest to you there's a raucous atmosphere inside the stadium. There isn't. But there will be more fans arriving for that US game afterwards. That's not a good ball. Made to the heart of the England defence. A word on Anita Asante's return.
I'm really pleased that she's got back into the team. Very versatile. She can play centre midfield. She can play at the heart of defence. Come back to Chelsea and she's done well. She's just kept going, kept performing at club level, and eventually she's got that call back into the team.
14 years after making her England debut. This is her 68th international. She was last in the squad in September 2013. She last played in the European Championships of 2013 against France, and she was taken off at half-time. Painful memories, that tournament. Here's Amanita Diallo, made a debut in the friendly earlier this season. Regular through the campaign though. Looking for the Sommer in the middle, and Bronze got it away. Had Millie Bright not made it today, she was sick yesterday, then Lucy Bronze would have gone into centre half, and Hannah Blundell would have played at right fullback.
Been a big opportunity for Hannah Blundell, and again another player that's playing well for her club. And what Phil Neville's done well, I think, is he's gone to watch WSL games, so he's watched different teams and he's just picked players on how they're performing and if they are in form, and she's one of those players that is.
He's really bought into the job, you know. He goes to see Tony Duggan. Phil lives in Spain, and he's lived over there for a few years now. Had that coaching experience there, of course, but he stayed out there, and he goes to see Tony Duggan. She's based at Barcelona these days, and he will be going to see Barcelona against Lyon in the Champions League quarter-final, when Tony Duggan will be marked by Lucy Bronze.
Great to watch that game, yeah. Certainly won't be friends then.
No. Tony Duggan will probably be in Lucy Bronze's ear all the way through the through the game. Here's Jill Scott. Look at the difficulty in bringing the ball down and controlling it in this whipping wind. Again, have a look at the top of the picture there, the corner flag. 45 degrees.
Wind is the worst condition to play football in. You can cope with the cold or the rain. Wind is so unpredictable.
This is a chance for England, and a very good start for England is sealed with the opening goal of the game by Tony Duggan. 6 minutes in. They've been the better side by far. France simply haven't been able to get it out of their half, and England deservedly ahead. And what a good finish by the England player, who has benefited enormously by playing for Barcelona. Phil Neville said to me yesterday, simply by having a Barcelona shirt on has made her a better player, and that's a really crisp finish. 1-0 England.
Fantastic finish from Tony Duggan, but good build-up play as well. Frank Kirby seen that Tony Duggan was out wide. Lovely pass, nice weight of pass, which just allowed Tony Duggan to hit it round into the bottom corner, and the goalkeeper had no chance. But that's what she's done at Barcelona. She's worked on her technique. She's worked on that manipulating the ball, lots of touches on the ball, and that's what she wanted to do.
That's 12 goals for Barcelona this season. That's her 20th for England, by the way, in 55 international appearances. And, well, France look absolutely stunned. They are struggling physically against the conditions, and I think they're struggling mentally against the conditions as well. Here's Laura Georges, who's hugely experienced. 187 times she's played for France now. Alongside her is Grege Mbok, the 22-year-old Lyon player. And here is Le Sommet. England know all about her, of course, from the Canada World Cup finals. Rather clumsy challenge by Nikita Paris.
I think that's what we were saying. Nikita Paris is going to have to get back and work hard, which we know she will do. You know, good tackle initially from Lucy Bronze, and just mistimed, isn't it, from Nikita Paris?
Can England protect this lead? Le Sommet to the left of the ball. Sakina Goshawi, and Montpellier to the right. She'll curl it away from goal. Well, it's too high on the far side for the captain of France, Amandine Henry. Here's Kirby. Jill Scott, plenty of space there. Lucy Bronze. Not a good ball up from the back, but a perfect candidate to fill in for Steph Houghton as captain.
This is the goal again. A good break from Nikita Paris initially, and then continues her run forward. You know, if the goalkeeper was going to make a save there, Benamar, Nikita Paris would have been in there with the second opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net.
9 minutes by an England lead. To apologise for the sniffles and the snuffles and the splutters, but I am a man and I will bear the pain bravely, as you can imagine. It's Bronze. Teammate of hers at Lyon now, Le Sommet, of course. She did well there. Here's Goshawi, good player. Here's fouls Nikita Paris. Goshawi was at the European Championships in the summer, and the team beaten by England, actually.
It was a nudge in the back, wasn't it? It was a foul.
One of the 3 England wins ever against France in 1973 and 1974, and then in Deventer in July. Here's Paris, who's been in sparkling form for club and country. She's overrun that one. Sommet looking up front for Unamata Sarr, and she's got him behind here. Oh dear, oh dear. Not very good at all.
I think Anita Asante might have hurt herself there. Yeah, you can see straight away she went down. I don't know if she twisted funny. I know she has had an ACL injury. I hope it's nothing serious. It's just a knee on knee, which can be quite sore.
Well, they're just checking here.
Yeah, just to make
she's
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just see she sort of gets her studs caught in the turf. Just hoping it's not a twist of any sort.
Oh, the way she went down there has been alarming. Hugely experienced. Had 4 clubs in the USA.
I think when you've had that injury as well, I think you are overcautious.
Well, there's Phil Neville wearing a suit. Which is a bit amusing if you know Phil. I'm sure he'd love to be in a tracksuit out there. Loves the coaching. It'll take time for him, I think, to get used to the bureaucracy involved of being an England manager, the planning, dealing with the media on a regular basis. But it's been a joy for him coaching these players. He's talked about the way they're so self-driven, they're self-motivated, and actually he did a very interesting thing in the build-up to this. He got the young players who've come into the squad to stand up in front of the rest of the group and explain what it meant to be with England at this moment for those players. And he said he couldn't believe the passion and the emotion of those players talking about the journey they've been on, and he said it raised goosebumps. He said it was really very, very special.
Yeah, I think it's a nice thing to do that. I think especially just helps the young players coming in, help them integrate into that squad, and straight away the senior players realise how much it does mean for a player to represent your country, because from being a young girl, that's your dream. You know, you want to play for big clubs, but you want to play for your country.
Well, I think we're seeing one of them today. Kira Wash is only 20, but I think she turns 21 in April, I think, and this is her second international, don't forget, but I think she's already, even though this is only her second, established in the squad, and the sort of heir apparent to Farrah Williams' role.
Yeah, I just think she plays so mature, you know, beyond their years, really. Just a reading of the game and how comfortable she is on the ball and how she doesn't seem to be fazed no matter what team she's playing against.
It's a throw to France, despite Nikita Parris's protests. And that's a real shame. That is a real shame, but a chance for another youngster. Anita Sante has gone off, and Abby McManus comes on for her debut. The 25-year-old Manchester City player, who herself missed a lot of 2016 through injury. England under 23. A real opportunity for her. She's done very well in training, impressed the management, but what a blow for Asante, back in the squad after so many years and already off the field of play. Absolutely
Gutted for her. And you can see how devastated she was on the bench. She just hoped that it's nothing too serious, that they're just looking after her for the other two games.
That's given away by Henry, uncharacteristically. She's a really good player, Amandine Henry, one of the best in the world. I know that Mark Sampson and the England coaching staff in Euro 17 targeted Henry. They knew that if England stopped her, they'd be okay. Can England get a second? It's a delicate effort from Jodie Taylor. What an effort that was, off the bar. In these conditions, to control a chip like that, that's terrific technique.
Really is. England have started so bright. Fran Kirby especially, every time she gets the ball, you think something's going to happen. She's so intelligent with who she plays the ball to, and like you say, Jodie Taylor obviously can see there's the wind. What am I going to do technique-wise? I'm just going to do a delicate chip, and she's unlucky not to score.
Left Arsenal a while back, but she kept her fitness levels. Went back to Melbourne when she played beforehand earlier in her career. In fact, signed off last week with a goal against Sydney. Here's Le Sommet. A bit too much space there for comfort. That's from Karshawi. Headed away by McManus. That'll do her the world of good. Now Henry. Le Sommet. Karshawi's available if she wants her.
I think when you come on as a sub like that, you just want to get a touch early on. And a good touch at that. Just do something simple, nice, easy pass, just play your way into the game. It'll be a really fast tempo that she's coming into, you know, in such an important position at centre half, but she's a confident girl. I'm sure she'll settle in well.
Sommer needs one goal to become the second highest scorer in French history, level with Lord Delay, who's not in the side here. She was awful in the Euros, and she was very poor in the game against England back in October. She scored in the game against England in the US last year when they won by 2-1. Jordan Nobbs was on the score sheet that day for England. She's one of the players who withdrew from this competition through injury. Duggan back to Kirby and behind. Taylor in the middle. Paris joining in, and Jill Scott as well. It's given away. Paris with the challenge. Not really holding the ball up very well, France.
France can't get hold of the game at all, and I think that's credit to how England are pressurising them, stopping them from playing. And then when they go forward, they're going forward with so much pace and quality. Really good start from England.
Well, Shower, this is where they're dangerous down their left-hand side. And Paris has to run with the fullback, and she gets there and wins it. Well, I said to you I was worried about England coping in the wide positions, but Paris is showing that Phil Neville has worked on that with them. She looks very capable of doubling up. Millie Bright, who's come on so much in the last 2 years. In terms of most improved England player, she must be up there, Millie Bright. This is what, 14 starts in their last 19, 15 now in 20. Really, very rarely misses a game.
Oh, massively. And I played with Millie Bright at Doncaster. She went to Chelsea to go full time and work on that playing every day and different types of you know, techniques and things, and obviously got into the England squad, and she's just got better and better with every game. She's probably one of the first names on the team sheet now.
Sommet, trapped across there by Kira Walsh. Kirby. Are you doing anything at the moment to keep your fitness levels up? I know you'll have a bop at an X Factor live concert. Apart from that, here's Paris for England.
Shouldn't have told you that.
Duggan. Kirby. They're good fun, those.
It was great.
I went to one a few years ago. I lifted the average age by about 100 now.
I think I did last night, actually.
It's Diallo. She's very much one for the future. She's only 22, Paris Saint-Germain. Involved throughout this season. Henri. Been ever present this season. She's just gone back to France from the US. He was at Portland Thorns, and here's Koscielny. He has been impressive. She's gone for the return with Le Sommet. It'll be missed by Demi Stokes. She could have got it away. Here's Giditiatu Diani, operating on that right-hand side. Le Sommet back into the middle. And it's stabbed away in there by McManus. Misjudgment in the air by the England captain.
Yeah, I think, is it a question of handball? But I don't think so. I think it was too close to her. She could react.
Somewhere with a corner. 20 minutes gone in Columbus, Ohio. 1-0 England. They'll go into the near post area again. It's a well-worn corner kick routine there. There's Koscielny. He's out to Duggan. Now Lucy Bronze. Doing very well with Lyon. They're 5 points clear of Paris Saint-Germain. Through to the last 8 in Europe, as are Manchester City and Chelsea. Kira Walsh. When Paris says it's her first appearance for France, and she was sent off in the Euros in the summer against Switzerland. A few more fans beginning to dribble in. Main event takes place after this. The USA against Germany, world champions against the Olympic champions. England's next game is against Germany on Sunday in New Jersey, and then we finish off against the USA on Wednesday. See all those games on the BBC. Here's the Sommet. Sarr in support, back to the Sommet. Manis is there with her. To stop her getting a shot away. She's played it back there. Good ball back actually to Diani. And offside against Unamati Sarr. About 20 minutes against England in October start.
England just have to be careful. They started so well, but the likes of Le Sommer can just change a game in an instant, and there Lucy Bronze give the ball away to her teammate who anticipated what she was going to do, and straight away they're on the break. They do break quickly, France.
Karen Barsley back in the England goal. She lost her place actually after the SheBelieves game against France last season for a while. Born in the USA, born in Santa Monica in California, England's regular goalkeeper. She was goalkeeper of the year in the US League once when she was a Sky Blues player. We're midway through the first half here, England lead. They were so worried about the weather earlier on, they thought there might be a delay, the players might have to be taken off if there was a thunder and lightning storm. So okay, at the moment it's Kirby looking for Paris. But she's looking more like an England player, Nikita Paris. When the bulk of her early internationals, she looked like a player who was going to come in and out of the team, but now she looks like a regular.
Yeah, and she was an impact player from the bench, but now I think he'll consider Nikita as one of his starting 11, because again she's just got better and better, and I think that's just through coaching and working on things that she needed to work on.
Saw a shot there, I gather, back at home of Corinne Diacre, the coach of France. She came in after the Euro. She replaced Olivier Echouafny. There was some criticism of Echouafny from the England camp last summer, saying that he was only using women's football really as a stepping stone, and he wouldn't be around longer than 5 minutes, and the England camp was criticised for that. Well, Echouafny was no longer around after 5 minutes. Decent player in his time, as was Diacre. Oh dear, that's a mistake by Benhama. They cannot find a long-term replacement for Bouhaddi. This is their problem, and Bouhaddi's getting on in years.
Yeah, they keep trying. Bouhaddi made an error, I think it was against Italy recently. You know, and they've brought Benhama in, and she's been solid, but is she the long-term replacement for Bouhaddi?
He's only 31, I suppose, Bouhaddi. Goalkeepers can go on forever, can't they?
Yeah.
Duggan against the corner flag. Punched nervously. Jill Scott chose the wrong option, really. She was unaware that Lucy Bronze was in a decent position. Here's Duggan, the ball's going everywhere. The wind's terrible. Floated in towards Scott, she's offside. Actually did well, Jill Scott, to cushion that header back across the middle in these conditions, but she was offside. She's been given more licence here, I think, to get into the penalty area for those under Phil Neville.
I think so. And that's what she's good at, that. She makes those late runs into the box that it's difficult for defenders to pick up. But you just look them. I know the conditions are awful, but France are really struggling to clear their lines. But even just marking, you know, it's a good ball in, but they don't even pick Jill Scott up. Just allow her to run behind.
They're missing Wendy Renard. She's not here. She's got 99 caps. She's not in the side. She left out injured.
Yeah.
As we say, Marie-Laure Deli not here. Elodie Thomas is retired. Nessie retired a couple of years ago. Boussali is no longer around in the squad. Claire Laberger, all these players, Abili retired. Jessica Ouara might be there. Germany have actually undergone that, as we'll see later in the tournament, that sort of transitional period where they've lost, especially from the last World Cup, they've lost star players.
Yeah, and I think it's difficult when so many players either retire or, like obviously Wendy Renard is injured for this game or this tournament. But when you miss so many key players in key positions, it's difficult to replace them straight away and find that right personnel.
It's a decent ball. Look at the weather just took it away, spun the ball away from Amandine Henry. And in the second half, England will have to face this win. Henry with a shot, deflected through. It's a fairly open stadium. There's a weird little sort of stand behind one of the goals. The first soccer-specific stadium built by an MLS team. Lacrosse is played here. US Sevens rugby has been played here. Paris. It was too easy for her. Koscielny was too far off, and now Lucy Bronze will go on the outside. Into Paris, she'll let it roll on to Jill Scott. 2-0 England. Brilliant finish. Really well placed. Terrible, terrible French defending. England 2, France 0.
Terrible. They're keeping quite a high line, which is leaving space in behind for England. And when you've got quick players like Nikita Parris, like Jodie Taylor, who like to play on the shoulders, just giving so much time and space. Lucy Bronze plays it into Nikita Parris, who leaves it for Jill Scott. It's a good finish into the corner. I think she's laughing because it's a left foot, but I think the goalkeeper could do better. I think it's poor.
Not only that, but Amanita Diallo goes to close on the ball and then jumps in the air. This is the 6th best team in the world England to play against here, and they're making it look very easy. We've talked about the conditions, we've talked about Le Sommet, and it will get more difficult, but at the moment it's plain sailing.
Yeah, I think we have to credit England and their movement and how quickly
Absolutely.
they're moving the ball around, but yeah, the French look nervy at the back.
Well, he wants this ruthless streak, Phil Neville. He wants them to believe they're winners. He wants them to believe they're not just the 3rd best team in the world, but they have every right to consider themselves the best team in the world. It's that old Manchester United belief. Manchester United are the best and the rest are nowhere. And that's what he wants to instill in these players. Jill Scott nicely interchange with the Paris.
I think that's half the battle, though. And mentally, you have to be right. You have to be. I remember going out against Germany, and because you'd never beaten them, it was always a difficult game. And if you went a goal down, you think, oh, how many are we going to get beat by today? So you do need that belief and that winning mentality.
It's Koscielny, the cross took a slight deflection. Oh, but Manis nervy ahead of that. Back it comes in. It's slammed over the top. I think it was Diallo who got up in support. Over it goes. What England shirt were you wearing when you went out against Germany? The very, very big one that came down to your ankles?
Yeah, it would have been. Men's shirt it was then. That was a good finish from Jill Scott as well, with a weaker foot. Don't know if Frank Kirby was maybe in the vision of the goalkeeper, Benoit. Give her the benefit of the doubt, because she was really slow to react, really slow down.
Another decent ball around the back. Not a good touch, and England nearly got it back again. Perisset plays it into Henry. Le Sommet. Le Sommet and Koscielny hold the key for France to get back into the game, but she's just a little bit sluggish in possession.
I also think Henry, you know, she can normally dictate the play in there, dictate that tempo. You can see she's just gone to pressurise, and nobody's gone with her. She's shouting at her teammates, and that's a team that's not happy.
He is, though. Look at him.
He is.
He's loving every minute of this. Maybe not the weather. England in total command. And McManus. A little bit too much zip on the ball. Koscielny. Lucy Bronze, strong tackle on a Lyon teammate. Can you hear Phil?
Yeah.
There, pass, play, play. You can hear him shouting. Stokes. Now it's picked up by Sarr, tall, rangy forward. The Sommer. Lucy Bronze, good shape for a fullback there. Good stance. She's made the forward change her mind, really. That's a hefty challenge. And it's Nikita Paris again. It's a forwards challenge.
Yeah. She did so well to help Lucy Bronze double up on Le Sommer. Like you say, you can hear Phil Neville giving instruction, and he was saying to Nikita Paris, get back and help her. I think she did get a touch of the ball, but took Koshu out as well.
Well, she did get a touch there, though. It's a little bit hard done by it. Sommer over it with Karshawi. Test for Karen Bartley then. There's nothing shot to say so far. Now she will. Sommer, in it came, and it's a good clearance away by Lucy Bronze. Tony Taylor, up it goes. Tony Duggan will give chase. Diani. Robert in a deeper position than I thought she would play. Taylor did really well, good hold-up play there. Kirby just delayed the pass too long. Nikita Paris couldn't take any part because she's straight offside.
I think she just wanted it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Great play from Jodie Taylor, though. That's exactly what she does so well. She can hold the ball up like that, bring other players in, but then she'll also go on the shoulder. She'll go in behind.
Strength of the win there. Jodie Taylor, as I say, back in the United States of America. She's had 16 moves in 16 years. Came to international football late, really, because of the time spent abroad. Sampson gave her a chance where previous England managers hadn't, really.
She just loves to travel, play football in different countries. I think when she was at Arsenal and they decided to change it to a winter league, I think she thought it's maybe time to go somewhere a little bit warmer.
Cold in Seattle.
It can actually, yeah. I was thinking Melbourne.
Here's Le Sommer, yeah. Here's Le Sommer, Karshawi's wide. That's not a bad effort, really. She's, apart from Le Sommer and Karshawi, France are really, really poor. But this player is an extraordinary player. Won the league title 7 years in a row with Lyon. The Cup 6 years in a row. She's won 4 Champions League. Been in 3 European finals, 2 World Cups. Scored against England in Moncton, wasn't it?
It was.
Strange place in Canada.
Yeah.
It's got a sort of mini tidal wave that goes up the river every day. And the river is chocolate brown in colour. We were told to go and see this spectacle of nature, and sometimes the tidal bore got higher than 6 inches. Here's Diani.
Really exciting.
Well, we do. Powerful header away by Riesch and Bock. Laura Shaw, she would normally partner Renard. Although actually in the last couple of years, they have been bringing Mbok Bati through. This is her 39th appearance. Terrible ball by Laura George. Paris. Seized away by Karshawi. Dangerous ball to play in there, but she got away with it. There's Amadine Henry. She chases down on Jill Scott, fouled up.
They just can't keep the ball, France. It's so unlike them. I'm not used to seeing a French team like this.
She won the title in the USA last year, did Amandine Henry. Portland Thorns, they beat North Carolina in the final. Tiani dropping back very deep, looking for Sarr. Been never present for France this season, Oulimata Sarr. Scored a couple of goals in those 7 appearances. As I said, she had a 20-minute run out against England in the October friend. I can't remember how she did. I can't really remember that game at all. So I remember it being very poor, and then poor Siobhan Chamberlain made a mistake late on, didn't she?
She's full of running, but I think that, well, in this game especially, but there's just the quality of the ball into her. It's been so poor from France.
I can't remember many commentaries I do with you, actually.
No comment.
Here's Millie Bright. So many enjoyable moments. I think that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
They sort of all get, you know, melted into one another. Yes, we have had great fun with tidal bores and various things around the world. Here's Nikita Paris. Looking for Jodie Taylor in behind, and that's what she does. Give Jodie Taylor half a chance, she will score, and England's first game under Phil Neville is going extraordinarily well. England 3, France 0. Exceptional.
Yeah, again, great play, really tenacious from Jill Scott to win the ball off Georges. What is she doing in there? She's in the midfield, completely out of position. Straight away, you give the ball in behind to Jodie Taylor. She's 1v1 with the goalkeeper. She's not going to miss. You know, she's so clinical. That's what she's got in her game. She's got the pace to get in behind Mbotbati, but then just a cool, calm head at the end of it. I don't want to take anything away from England's performance because I think it's been outstanding, but France have been really poor.
16 England goals in 33 England appearances. Goal every other game for Jodie Taylor. For a player of the experience of Laura Shaw, there's no excuse really. Here she is, looking for Mbotbati. She won the World Cup at a junior level, under 17 creation Mbotbati. She won the Golden Ball as best player, and I don't know if you can remember when they, at the end of the tournament, she did this fantastic dance. If you ever get it on YouTube. And it's England who are dancing in this first half. He's really enjoying working with these players, I can tell you that. Very genuine man, this Phil Neville. Better from France, Perisset. Oh, bad appeal for offside there by England, and that could have been very, very costly. Faustine Robert steers it wide, but they got ragged at the back there, England. The line wasn't straight. Someone appealed for offside, but it clearly wasn't.
Yeah, I think they just have to just remain focused. Yeah, she was just allowed to run free. I think Karen Barsley did have it covered. But that was a let-off for England, shall we say.
I thought Karen might have actually touched that, but goal kick was given. Le Sommer thought that she'd been impeded in the middle. Here she is. This will hurt her. Kashawi. Le Sommer. Jill Scott was right there. In fact, England have 3 players around Eugénie Le Sommer. She will complete 150 caps for her country against the USA in their next game. Should she be picked? I can't leave her out, surely. And Lamata Sarr does look like a young girl out there, really. Looks a little bit lost. Here's Le Sommer. That's a lovely run and a very good cross from a very good player. Duggan. Here's Stokes. Strange, England are 3-0 up. Collectively very good. Probably the best individual player out there in the first half has been Le Sommer.
Yeah,
arguably.
You're right. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, she always looks dangerous when she's on the ball. And she's a real big game player. She can unlock defences, can score goals. But she's very much doing it on her own tonight.
One of the phrases Phil gave me for his early impression of the England women's players is they're playing football for the right reason. Genuine love of football, and some of them have very difficult journeys to this level. Not, as you all know, Sue, not necessarily been an easy thing for a young girl to progress through as an England international footballer.
No, not at all. I'm sure they will have had, everyone's got their own journey, but they'll have had to have gone through a lot of heartache sometimes, you know, playing for a boys' team, getting stopped playing for a boys' team, maybe not allowed to play in school. Obviously with the new Women's Super League and Professional League, so much better for these players, but I bet all of them have got their own individual stories. And yeah, these players are playing for their country and they love it. And it's nice that Phil Neville's noticed that.
3-0 up here, and they look for a fourth. Nikita Paris, hesitant defending, and look at Karshawi, immediately staring at Laura Georges. Keeper got there in the end. They're all over the place, France defensively.
They're certainly missing Wendy Renard. You know, she's not only a good player, she organises them at the back.
I think one of the things that's impressed me in the, whatever it is, 4 or 5 years I've been doing the England women's scene is the number of genuine players you come across. You know, they're genuine human beings. There's no side to them. People like Jo Potter, who's not here.
Yeah.
Laura Bassett, who went over to Australia, didn't she?
Yeah.
She sort of dropped out of the scene now. Very genuine people, I feel.
I think she had a great time in Australia playing football over there. Laura Bassett. I'm sure she'll work her way back in. Good player, but also a good person to have around the squad.
Casey Stoney, who's part of the coaching setup here at the moment, as an assistant to Phil Neville. Mo Marley, who took over as interim manager, of course, in the autumn. She's here as well. Here come England looking for a fourth. It's Kirby.
Oh.
Too much weight on the pass to Taylor.
You could see what she was trying to do. She was just trying to curl that with the outside of her foot into Jodie Taylor's path, but just got a little bit too much on it. But just going back to Casey Stoney being here, I think that's a great idea. You know, it's helping her with her transition from retirement, because she's played for such a long time and been at the highest level for such a long time. So it's difficult to retire and not go into anything, and I think she'll massively help these players from a coaching perspective now. Pass on all her knowledge.
A minute of stoppage time. France cannot wait to get in the dressing room now. They will have the win behind them in the second half. You expect more testing conditions for England. They do have this domination at the moment, and that's a very naive run by Amanita Diallo to come from offside, try and get back into play. One of the European under-19 title-winning side that beat Mo Marley's England. Here to watch Team USA a little bit later on. They average about 14,000 for home games. Well, England are up around about that figure now, you know. Go, shall we? Mbok. Diallo.
Been really impressed with England's shape and organisation off the ball.
Well, I think Phil knew that he could build on the work done defensively by Mark Sampson and Mo Marley.
Yeah. You can see that France are struggling to break them down.
Here's Kirby. Duggan to her left. Harris making the run. Kirby still going. Comes back to a little dink ball through. Looking for Taylor and headed away by E. Perisset. England are running riot.
Yeah, Kirby just run past George then like she wasn't even there. You know, and I know she's got such quick feet. George just can't turn. I would say every time you get on the ball, run at her. Whether it's Frank Kirby, whether it's Jodie Taylor, Tony Duggan, she can't turn.
It's quite sad to see, actually, because she's been a terrific player in a day. 186 games for France. That's the half-time whistle. What a very good first half for England has been. Tony Duggan early on with a very crisp finish. Jill Scott placed it left foot after 27 minutes for 2-0, and then Jodie Taylor 6 minutes before the break. Really good first half.
Oh, excellent first half for England. I think defensively, like I said, very good, very well organised. But when they go forward, they look dangerous. They commit players forward. I think it's an excellent first half. France have to improve in the second half, I'm sure.
3-0 to England. Off goes Jodie Taylor. The job is half done, and it's been done very well so far. Phil Neville's first game in charge. England 3 up at the break. Well, it's been a very good first half. Sue, let's go back over the highlights of this first 45 minutes. It didn't take England long. 6 minutes on the clock. Frank Kirby finds Duggan, and that's a Barcelona finish.
Yeah, it really is. It's a top-class finish. Again, good vision from Frank Kirby to see Tony Duggan out wide. Unselfish as well, because she could have had a shot from there. She was quite central. But what a finish that is. Right into the bottom corner, placed. That's what you tell your forwards to do, place it.
The only drawback for England was that Anita Sante went off shortly after that. As Frank Kirby was saved by the goalkeeper. Sante back in the side for the first time in 5 years, went off injured.
Yeah, it's horrible to see. I think the fact she's got herself back into the squad, doing really well for her club. You just hope it isn't anything serious. Because I know how hard she's worked to get herself back into this position.
Really good goal by Tony Duggan, her 20th for her country. There is Phil Neville. You could hear him in the first half saying, play, play, pass, pass. They've had to double up at full-back to stop the danger of the French down the left-hand side. That was offside anyway, didn't count. The main danger has come down through Cauchot and Le Sommet, though.
Yeah.
And look at this for the second goal. Jill Scott. Happy that it's a left foot effort.
Yeah, you could see straight away she was pointing to her left foot. She doesn't, or laughing about it, because she doesn't score many with her left. She's just definitely swung that. But I think Jill Scott's had a very good game. I think, like you said, she's been given a little bit more licence, a bit more freedom to get forward.
Signaling to the bench, it was a left foot effort. That was 27 minutes gone. That was 2-0. And this was the third. Paris through to Jodie Taylor, and one of the best goal scorers in the world game.
And she is. And you know that when she's through on goal, 1v1 with the goalkeeper, she's going to score. I didn't actually praise Nikita Paris in commentary, but I've just noticed it was a fantastic ball through by her. Again, a lovely weight of pass. I think that's what's really impressed me with England. The passing's been crisp. Good weight on there. And good anticipation from the forward players to get onto it.
Well, they're in some position here. Conditions are difficult. They'll have the wind in their faces in their second half, that's for sure. And France will have to do something. They've been shocking. England have been very, very good. And they're 3-0 up at half-time. Welcome back to the second half. Two teams are out. And France need a major change in this second half soon.
Yeah, they really do. They just need to have that quality on the ball. Defensively, they need to be better organised. You know, it was easy for England at times. But again, you don't want to not give credit to England and their movement and their quality when they went forward. But France don't look like a team that are ready for France 2019.
What a start, though, by England under Phil Neville. Terrific stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they have not been at the races. She looks absolutely freezing, Amanita Diallo. Cold wind. Joe Curry, Five Lives Joe Curry, earlier today said the weather was stinking in her tweet, and she's not wrong. Off we go then, England all in white, kicking from right to left, and they'll be kicking into the teeth of this stiff wind. Here's Stokes. Abby McManus came on early in the game for Asante, who had to go off, and there was a little bit of a distressing sight of her having to be helped down the touchline at half-time. So we hope she's okay. And there is McManus. Big day for her. Special day.
Yeah, and again, that's another player that Phil Neville's watched playing for Manchester City. She's been playing well. He's picked her and he's got confidence to put her straight into the team.
And here's another goal for England right at the start of the half. And it's Frank Kirby. And it's all smiles. They slice through France again. What a start to a managerial career this is.
Just a long ball, isn't it? Long ball forward. Jill Scott's the first one to win the race and then just gets the ball into the danger area. And Frank Kirby's so alive to everything. She's been so sharp. Again, playing well for Chelsea. He's brought that into this game today. And what a finish. But again, defensively, first of all, against Jill Scott, she wins the race. But then the goalkeeper doesn't really do anything, doesn't come out, doesn't make herself big.
Well, you can only play the team in front of you. That's an old football cliche. You can only beat the team in front of you, and England are beating this France team very, very well. France, I've never seen a French team play as poorly as this. This is now England. This will be England's biggest ever victory against France. They beat them 3-0 some 45 years ago. All through the years when you were playing, Sue, you'd know, you come across France.
Oh, yeah.
There would be pain involved for an England team, but not today. There's just joy.
Yeah. You just always knew it was going to be a really tough game. It was going to be 1-0, 0-0. And I think the fact that they beat them in the summer, though, that definitely has helped them psychologically.
Well, I thought she did well against England back in October on a debut, but she's been very, very poor. And she might not even see through to the World Cup as host coach, you know, Diacre. Very well thought of as a coach. His first female coach on the men's side in France at Clermont Foot. She replaced Elena Costa there and then took over as the main coach. Here's Paris. Sure, she's got a cross. I think we're seeing the start of the end of an illustrious international career, which is always sad to see. But at 33, Laura Georges has not got many miles left in those legs. Could be wrong, Sue, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. And she's never probably been the quickest player, but her legs in this game don't seem to be there. But I don't think positionally, you know, if you haven't got legs, there's a lot of players that I've played against but that haven't got pace, but positionally they know where to go, especially with all their experience. She's getting caught out all the time.
The open stand still dripping wet after the deluge early on. Got a little bit brighter for a while. Sun peeped its head out actually, but early evening now in Columbus, Ohio. And England really enjoying this first outing in this year's She Believes. Demi Stokes trying to get on the outside of Perisset. The PFC defender was equal to that. Not perhaps had a chance to get forward as much down the left as Lucy Bronze has on the right.
I'd like to see that a little bit more from Demi Stokes, because she has been doing that again at a club level.
Sure, Scott twirling there. She really is enjoying herself. She may well have twirled herself into pain. Because she's not one that goes down easily. Did she twist her ankle as she comes across here?
You couldn't really see. I don't know if it was a stud just on the top of her foot that's quite sore.
Diani was there with her.
She's tough, Jill. She'll be okay.
Once again at the start of the half, I'll apologise for the splutters and the snuffles. I've been doing this for 38 years now. I've never sneezed as much in the first half as I have today, ever.
Thought it was my perfume.
I'm allergic to you.
I was going to say that was my perfume. She nearly had to do the Heimlich manoeuvre.
You did? Half time.
Choking on a cough sweet.
I was choking on a cough sweet and Sue had to get a aforementioned object out. How did you manage to run? There's nothing of you. How did you get your arms around me? Anyway, here's Duggan. Cut out by Millie Bryant. Poor touch by her, and she's followed through and caught Henri. If the referee's got anything about it, she'll produce a yellow card. Quite right too. Millie won't thank me for saying so, but she let the ball run away from her and then stretch into the challenge and caught Henri, the French captain. I don't think it was Tony Duggan, I think it was Millie Bryant. Now here's Le Sommet. Can she get France back into the game somehow? It wasn't a very good touch, was it, by Diani? And Bock was right up there supporting the attack. Apart from this player here and Karshawi, they've got very few success stories. Oh, that really sums up their entire day. That's embarrassing.
Oh. I think the French team have to just put it down to one of those nights, one of those days.
Well, the French just don't do 4-0 defeats, do they?
No.
Oh, having said that, Germany beat them 4-0 in November, so they do 4-0 defeats.
Not against England.
No, that's right. They're heading here for only their 7th defeat since October 15. All credit to England. Bronze. Again, Kira Walsh has been very tidy in that area. Bright. Stokes. Duggan with the pressure on Perisset, because she was offside.
Yeah, the team that Phil Neville selected and the formation, they seem to be very balanced. You know, defensively, they seem to have the cover that's needed with Kira Walsh just sitting in. But all the players getting back into a shape. And then, like I say, when they go forward, there's a real pace and quality about England.
Rare piece of work to do for Karen Bardsley. The official half-time statistics, by the way, were that French had dominated possession, that had 7 shots on the England goal. I really have no idea where those statistics came from. I think they've had a couple of efforts wide, Sarr and Robert. They've not had an effort on target in the game. And England had controlled the ball. They've looked comfortable on the ball. They've been brave on the ball. All these qualities Phil Neville wanted to see from his players. Spins awkwardly away from Diani, whose touch was poor. I'm afraid for a player that has a high level of skill. He's only 22. He played in the European Championships in the summer. She's been very, very disappointed. Paris took it well enough. Duggan switches it away. Bronze keep it in. Big and powerful. To ask a question, really, is Scott. Bronze cuts the cross back in with the wind. Scott. Bronze played onside. Comes to nothing, but again, it was very naive French defending. Now, Phil Neville says he's already seen an improvement in Lucy Bronze just in the few months she's been at Lyon. Do you?
Yeah, I think Lucy Bronze has always been an excellent player for England, for Manchester City. And I think she wanted to go to Lyon to get even better. I didn't really answer the question, did I?
Wonderful place to live, Lyon. Imagine being given the chance to play professional football in Lyon. You've got a chance to go to the old town, is just wonderful.
I think that's just one of the clubs that when they come calling, you do go. You know, it's a real opportunity for Lucy. And I think one that she's relishing.
I remember going into the old town in Lyon during Euro 16, the men's tournament. And, I can't remember leaving the old town, to be honest, that night. I can't remember much after. It was just after Ireland had got knocked out. We did that game. Terrific night. Chase for Jodie Taylor. Now, Phil Neville will be thinking of changes in a minute. Nikita Paris from a poor clearance by Karshawi. She seems to have been afflicted by the ailment the rest of the team's struggling with. She played well, Nikita Paris.
She has played really well. England are just first at every ball.
Moving it crisply, cleanly around. Too high that time for Tony Duggan. If Rachel Daly, who plays her football in the USA at Houston Dash, will be given a chance to young Georgia Stanway for a debut from the bench. He was heading back up north with her parents to Barrow-in-Furness last week when Phil Neville phoned them up. I think her dad took the call and said, can you turn around, get down to Heathrow and put young Georgia on the plane to the USA. She's going to come with the senior squad.
What a goal she scored against Chelsea, the second goal. You probably wouldn't have seen a better goal all weekend, men's or women's football.
Referee checking that the French player's okay. Down on that far side is Diani, hasn't been able to get going at all. It's a sloppy 1-2 play with Amanita Diallo, who's looked out of her depth today, I'm afraid.
They just look very individual, the French. They're not playing as a team at all.
It's Faustine Robert who's down. She plays for football at the Guingamp club. We're fairly low down in the French league. League dominated by Lyon, of course. much in that. She seemed to run into the back of Lucy Bronze.
I just wonder if she's rolled her ankle or something while she's touched the back of Lucy Bronze's heel. She looks in some discomfort. Certainly wasn't a foul.
Well, she probably wants to get out of there, to be honest. 4-0 down, an hour played. Here goes Lawley. In the last game against Kazakhstan. And she's replacing Nikita Paris, like for like. Made a debut actually against France in that October game. Came on for half an hour. And she scored against Kazakhstan in her first start. Assay coming on, and Tini coming on as well for France. Assay for Diani, who's been very, very poor. And Tini, very experienced striker.
Tini's a great player.
Yep.
She's somebody that can make things happen. She's tidy on the ball, which is what they need. They're not keeping hold of the ball at all.
Nearly 150 internationals. Scored 55 times in that international career. She's their 4th highest scorer of all time.
2 substitutions for France, leaving the game, number 14, Faustine.
A word about Mel Lawley in a minute, Sue, but here come England again, looking for Jodie Taylor.
Substitution leaving the game, number 20,
I think he's saving Nikita Paris. I think she's been outstanding. I think her running off the ball, her work rate, she's looked dangerous when she's gone forward, and given now an opportunity to Mel Lawley, who again's another good player, different type of player. She'll look to face up and get a delivery into the box.
Well, they will have more threat now, the French, with the Tini, who plays at Marseille. 3 goals for France this season. Scored in her last start against Ghana. They thumped Ghana 8-0. Got a couple that day. That was back in October, just after the England friendly. But their results have been patchy this year. They drew at home to Sweden 0-0. They drew in the game Sue was mentioning earlier against Italy 1-1. That was an error-strewn game. They only beat Chile home 1-0.
And I suppose really these games don't matter too much. It's about making sure that you're ready for the tournament, making sure that that's when you're at your peak. But you do want confidence, you do want momentum going into big tournaments like that, especially at home. You just wonder, are they going through a phase, a training phase that's quite heavy, but their results have been really inconsistent. And this today, like we've both said, it's probably the worst French team that I've seen.
But a brilliant England performance.
Yeah, brilliant.
Here's Kirby, he's been at the heart of everything. She's just fouled there, pulled down by Assay. He's gone to the right-hand side. See Tini closing in there, forcing the error from McManus. Sommer in support, give and go. Already Tini injecting a little bit of pace, a little bit of movement.
Yeah, she's intelligent, links up with Le Sommer. There's a poor ball from Le Sommer there, back to her. But they will combine, they will create chances. Just surprised that Tierney didn't start from the start.
She hasn't played since the European Championships. All through this winter, she's been out of favour. Playing for her club. Moved to Paris this season, the Paris club. Paris FC as opposed to Paris Saint-Germain. Is Duggan. England's next game is against Germany on Sunday evening. And they round it off against the USA. It's Wednesday evening. Since the World Cup finals in Canada in 2015, England would have won 24 of 38 games. 11 of 13 now. High consistency levels. Bright gave Walsh work to do. Rather naive effort by Diallo, who was a player of potential. She's only 22. She's had a poor game tonight. Lawley, first touch for her to take on Karshawi.
You also have to remember that England are missing key players. Steph Houghton, the captain. Jordan Nobbs, who would have started, I'm sure. Kaz Carney. You know, they're three real important players to not have in the team, and yet they're performing at this level against one of the best nations.
Yep, ranked 6th in the world, France. England 3rd. USA top, Germany 2nd. It's Australia and Canada. And next, and then France in 6th. Here's Demi Stokes, brilliantly done. Crossing towards the near post. Taylor couldn't get a touch. It could have been 5.
We said earlier, didn't we, want to see Demi Stokes get forward, because she's got the ability to do that. She used to be a winger when she used to play for Sunderland. And you can see she's completely wrong foot. That's a good delivery into the box. I think Jodie Taylor will probably be disappointed she couldn't get onto the end of that.
I mentioned Sunderland there, and early on in the commentary, we're talking about some of the journeys these players have gone on to get to this level. Well, Jill Scott, when she was at Everton, she was still based in Sunderland, where she's from that area. She used to travel to Everton and back to train. You know, I bet the money involved was nothing. She probably lost it, you know, or a family.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of money. Well, you know yourself.
Definitely. Yeah, having to travel for just travel expenses, pretty much. And it is just the love of the game. And that hasn't changed.
Well, there's someone who has this infectious joy when she plays football, Tony Duggan. Karen Barsley must be cold. Ball bobbling there. I don't think there's anything to do with the surface. I think it's just the wind. Watch Long looking for Lawley. Walsh. Bright. Demi Stokes is away down the left-hand side. Not a good ball. Haven't seen too many misplaced England passes today. Fran Kirby's won it back. She's been so tigerish in there. And Duggan now to run it to Mbok. Not a good ball. Masome cuts it away. Game going through a patchy spell at the moment. Switched out by Vivian Essay. Well, I hope the French coach, after this, doesn't blame conditions wholly for the French performance. I hope there is due credit for England, because they've been very good. France have been very bad. And yes, conditions have played a part, but that doesn't excuse some of the defending, some of the passing. That's not a good ball in. Albert Manis gave Walsh work to do in a dangerous area. Bright.
Just getting a little bit scrappy.
Midway through the half, England have got a bit sloppy here. Comfort zone, perhaps. Well, the very best can be very poor at times. That was not a good ball. And White there warming up. I think he will appoint ultimately a permanent assistant coach. I wonder if it will be Casey Stone. I wonder if he's sort of auditioning her, so to speak. She's doing her badge, isn't she, at the moment? And
yeah, she is, and I think she'd be a great asset to the team in that capacity.
We predicted that, didn't we, a couple of years ago?
Yeah, we did.
That's one thing, right?
Yeah.
Pat ourselves
Do all right
on the back.
sometimes. Yeah.
They don't pat me too hard. I mean, have the Heimlich manoeuvre. He patted me, give me an absolute bash. He comes across looking then far post for Duggan. Fouled by Demi Stokes.
I wonder, could Duggan have gone with a head then? You could see what she was trying to do, get it back across goal, but I wonder, could she have tried to head that back towards goal?
So a double substitution for England.
2 substitutions for England.
And Izzy Christensen will come on for Fran Kirby. Manchester City player replacing Chelsea player. And Ellen White will come on. Tony Duggan, very good game for her. Ellen White back in an England performance. Has been injured. Missed the games at the start of the season.
They've both had excellent games, haven't they?
70th game for Ellen White now. Izzy Christensen, whenever she's come off the bench for England, has had an impact. Good player, the Women's PFA Player of the Year back in 2015-16. And in the thick of things straight away is Taylor. Rain is pelting down again. Henri. Someone had come into a narrow position to allow the run of Karshawi. Seen off by Mel Lawley. Scott. By Walsh, steered the ball sensibly to the wide position. It's offside, Jodie Taylor. You can hear the rain hitting the effects microphone down at the pitch level. Tini to Perisset and the return ball. Better from France. They've been a better team with her on the pitch.
Yeah.
Can't believe she didn't start.
She's got a real quality about her when she gets on the ball. And they just haven't had that. Even Les Sommer's been a little bit sloppy in this second half.
Well, and Amatisar departs. And on comes Valerie Gauvin. Again, wasn't a good display by Sarah at all. Gauvin's a forward. She's 21 years of age. Comes to the island of Reunion, actually. But she's only back in the squad for the first time in a couple of years this season. That's not a bad effort, though. Right at the start, her first touch. Lawley. And England have got untidy here, Sue.
They have, and you can blame the weather conditions. I think it was a good time for Phil Neville to make some changes. I think they needed to freshen things up. But I suppose you're 4-0 up, you do begin to relax, and that's just where you want them to keep a clean sheet. You think 4 goals, clean sheet, great performance, move on to the next game.
Perisic. Here's Henry. Find a little bit more space now in that central midfield area, the French captain. They started off looking like a team that had no confidence in Benhamer, the goalkeeper, or in their central defenders, and they were 3-0 down before they could even think, really. We were talking early on about genuine figures in the women's game. Ellen White is one of those.
Yeah.
They can run through the middle. Such a hard-working, honest player. Perisic just gets there in front of her. Didn't look comfortable with the ball wobbling, though, in the wind. Here she is, the fullback, to bring it away.
Yeah, Ellen White will literally run for you all day. But then she also has that quality as well when she gets on the ball. Natural finisher.
Been unlucky with injuries.
She has been. You know, it's a real shame, but just looking at the England squad now, they've got such strength in depth. You look at the players that have come on, doesn't weaken the side at all.
It's a dreadful ball out of the back by Griejean Botbati there. Here's Ellen White. Not a good pass either.
Yeah, we spoke about Georges getting caught out of position, and you know the fact that she's been poor on the ball, but Botbati hasn't been much better. Distribution-wise, it's been awful.
As far as saying this is England's best ever performance against France, and we suggest this is one of France's worst ever performances anyway. Here's Tini. Oh, and horrible deflection, and they got a goal back. Deflected off Millie Bright, beyond Karen Bardsley. Tini's been their best player. She's been on the pitch for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, she has, and you know that that's what she's going to try and do. She's going to try and have a shot if she can get turned, but you can't do anything about this. It's a good turn initially, and just completely wrong foot Karen Bardsley with the deflection. You know, just hits Millie Bright's shoulder, and Karen Bardsley just can't adjust her feet quick enough. You can see she's going to the left, just can't get to the right to try and keep that out.
Bright brings it out. Interesting to see if the shot was actually on target. If it wasn't, then it might go down as an own goal. Just heading towards the target, will still be Tini's. 56th for her country. She's been doing well against England, all the way back to when she was under 19. She beat them in the European Championship at that age group when France won it. They beat England in the quarter-final, I seem to remember. A thorn in the side of England ever since.
She's just a player that's been sat on the bench watching and saying, I'm gonna come on and make a difference, and that's exactly what she's done.
Moved clubs last summer from Juvisy to Paris. And all of a sudden England are on the back foot, unnecessarily so really. It's a decent cross by Henry, headed away by Millie Bright, but Henry seems to have pepped up since Tini came on. All of a sudden they got 3 high-quality offensive players in Amandine Henry, Gaëtan Tini and Eugénie Le Sommer on the pitch.
And since Tierney's come on, they've just got a bit more urgency about them.
Gauvin there inside the 6-yard area. Out they come. This is a well-worn old set-piece routine. England shouldn't fall for it, and they don't. Scott's header. Tini. There's Laura Georges. Karshawi. She gets a crossing from this near side. It will bend in off her left foot. Le Sommer helps it on. Gauvin. Can England catch them on the counter? Lawley, Ellen White. Taylor's off through the middle. Selected a little bit of quality in the ball. Comes back to Ellen White now. Oh, she may well have actually clumped into Demi Stokes there. Bit of a misunderstanding between the two of them. Here's a say.
It was a right decision from Ellen White there to play the ball first time into Jodie Taylor, but just lacked a little bit of quality.
It was Lawley who was hurt actually for England. Ellen White just caught her teammate there. Ten minutes to go. Ellen herself knows injury. She had a cruciate knee ligament injury when she was at Leeds. And then 2014, she missed that whole season with another ACL. She missed the France game in October, injured. She only played 6 club games this season. All of a sudden, France have come alive in the game. That's not a good cross. She's made a bit of a difference for Vienna Say. Has to be said, Sue, England have taken their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
4-0 up. It's difficult to maintain that intensity, those intensity levels all the way through. Good touch. Decent build-up by England. Trying to get it square. Christensen was making the run-up in support. Here's Henri. The Sommet. Kashawi's out wide. Govan's through the middle. This is Tini. Oh, he's back to cover. Now Perisset. Wrapped her foot around the ball to get the cross in, out by Abby McManus. Christensen clears it away to Lawley. The pitch is very, very heavy, I can tell you. Carly Telford's going to come on for England.
Substitution for England, leaving the game, number 1, Karen Bardsley. She's replaced by number 21, Carly Telford.
Just to give her an outing, Sue?
I think so. She doesn't look injured, Karen Bardsley. She's all smiles when she comes off, so maybe just to give her some game time. You could just actually hear Phil Neville then asking Millie Bright if she was okay. I think with the illness that she had, he'll just be making sure. She won't want to come off though.
Carly Telford's 9th game for England, first since the Euro 17 warm-up game against Denmark. With the bench that day as well. Might want it back in the last stages of the game now, really. Should this competition go to goal difference, England might regret that French strike. We've all regretted a few French strikes in our past, let's be honest. Anyone who's travelled there often, I know what I'm talking about. McManus. Now Tini, the Sommet. Ballooned over. Conditions played a part in that. Rain, sleet, vicious wind, freezing cold. there you have it. The referee's telling her to get on with it. You can't kick a moving ball. Scott with the header on. Playing well for England. As Christensen tried to bundle onto that. Now Karshawi. Say. Tini. Good movement about France here. Cross just too far for Gauvin.
Tell you something, I'm sure Tierney will play in the next game.
Be surprised if Gauvin does eat as well through the middle. 21, but she looks to have a bit of a presence about her. Scoring that big win against Ghana. Winning goal so far. Let's see, dwelt on it too long. England throw. Well, it wasn't long ago that England were trailing behind the likes of France in the world rankings. You can see today why they've leapt to third in the world over the last couple of years. They've left France and others trailing in their wake. England in the first half really blew France away. And if there was any hope of a French comeback at the start of the second half when they knew they had the win behind them, Fran Kirby snuffed that out. Decent ball. Assay might cut it out. Henry with a shot.
I think sometimes we used to watch England, we used to say, where are the goals going to come from? But now there's lots of different players that can score goals.
It's Greenwood coming on for Demi Stokes, like for like. 27th appearance for England. Don't forget England's next game against Germany from the Red Bull Arena, Harrison, New Jersey. 7:50 on Sunday, that game. It's the home of the New York Red Bulls. Tottenham played there in the summer last summer, you might remember that. The International Champions Tournament. I think they lost in the final, didn't they? Shaking your head there, aren't you?
I wasn't sure.
Help me out. Here's the Sommer. Oh, that's an awkward bounce off Lucy Bronze.
When I go quiet, it means I don't know.
That's not often. When you go quiet. Good shape about that England defence there. Well positioned, as long as someone's dominant in the air. Maybe a little bit fortunate it came out. For Scott, here comes a challenge. That's what Diallo can do well. She can break up opposition attacks. She hasn't done it enough today.
I think England's midfield's dominated.
I think you alluded to this very early on in the commentary, that the French have, I think, have got a mental thing about England now because of what happened in Deventer.
Yeah.
And whereas the boot's on the other foot now, isn't it?
Just makes such a difference.
Gauvin. Coming up by Scott and away over by Eugénie Le Sommer. That, I can tell you, was half-hearted from her. Still, you can hear the coaching from the England bench. There will be rich praise for the team and the performance. But privately, there might be a few words about the last 20 minutes. There's a chance though for White. The goalkeeper's come all long way out, ploughed into the England player. Absolutely ploughed into her. The referee says it was a fair challenge.
Not sure about her decision to come out there. I think Ellen White's okay.
I think he's asking why a free kick wasn't given.
I think he's got every right to. Oh, she did get the ball, but
it's excessive force, Sue.
Yeah. There's no need for her to even come out.
The referee has added 2 minutes of stoppage time to the end of the game.
2 minutes of stoppage time. I'm sure you just heard that from the US public address system. The weather's kept a lot of people away. Here's White. Phil Neville appealing for the England throw. It came off Henry. He'll be well pleased with this. Just loves his coaching. He, loves to work with players. He's a very good career. With hesitancy there by Greenwood. You've just joined us, Duggan for England after 7 minutes, and then Scott 20 minutes later, Jodie Taylor 6 minutes before the break, just after the interval. Fran Kirby 4-0 up against France, who pulled one back with a deflected shot from the substitute Tinney 14 minutes from time. Your overall thoughts, Sue?
I think an excellent performance from England. I think defensively they look solid, they look well organised, and I think going forward they've looked at a constant threat. I think the only thing, if you were going to be hypercritical, was probably the last 10-15 minutes and the fact that they haven't kept a clean sheet, because I think Phil Neville and Casey Stoney, it's that extra little bit, isn't it? They want to get perfection, and you think conceding that one goal, they'll probably work on that for the next game. But overall, fantastic from England.
Here's a save. Darting the crossing, and away he goes through. And that's it, a very good start to Phil Neville's managerial career. A very good start for England in the SheBelieves Cup of 2018. Jodie Taylor amongst the goals. France were very poor, England were very, very good, and that's all that matters to him. Well done, Phil Neville, well done, England. Hope you've enjoyed it. England beating France by 4 goals to 1.
SheBelieves got